There's a moment right before you say, I do, when your brain goes completely silent. Not peaceful silence, survival silence. The kind where every cell in your body is screaming one thing, and your mouth is about to say the exact opposite. You're standing there, dressed perfectly, surrounded by people who believe this is your happily ever after. And all you can think is, I don't feel anything. Not love, not excitement, just relief that you won't have to be alone anymore. Millions of people walk down that aisle every year, knowing they're marrying someone they don't truly love. And the psychology behind why smart, self-aware people do this, it's way more complex than you think. If you've ever wondered how someone ends up in a loveless marriage, or if you're in one right now, this is going to explain everything. You know this feeling if you've ever looked at your partner and thought, they're perfect on paper. Good job, stable, kind to your family, checks every box your parents ever mentioned. But when they touch you, something inside you goes cold. Maybe it started when you hit 30 and everyone around you was getting engaged. Your friends were posting ring photos, your family was asking when you'd settle down, and suddenly being single felt less like freedom and more like failure. So when someone decent showed up, someone who actually wanted you stopped asking if you loved them and started asking if you could live with them. The answer was yes, and that felt like enough. Or maybe you grew up watching your parents' loveless marriage and learned that love isn't the point. Security is, stability is, not rocking the boat is. So you found someone safe, someone who wouldn't hurt you because they'd never get close enough to. You convinced yourself passion fades anyway, that chemistry is just hormones, that real love is choosing someone every day, even when you feel nothing. And for a while, the logic held. But your body kept score. Because here's the thing about marrying someone you don't love. It doesn't just affect the relationship, it rewires your entire nervous system. What you're experiencing has a name in psychology: attachment-based decision-making. It's when your choice of partner isn't based on desire or connection. It's based on what your nervous system learned love should feel like. And for a lot of people, love doesn't feel like butterflies. It feels like safety from chaos, relief from loneliness, protection from judgment. Psychologists have studied this for decades. Dr. Sue Johnson, founder of emotionally focused therapy, explains that humans don't just marry for love, they marry to regulate their emotional states. If you grew up anxious, you marry someone who makes you feel calm. If you grew up neglected, you marry someone who's just there. If you grew up in chaos, you marry someone predictable. You're not choosing a person, you're choosing a feeling, or more accurately, you're choosing the absence of a feeling you couldn't handle anymore. And that's not weakness, that's your brain trying to survive. But here's what nobody tells you. What feels like safety in the beginning can become a cage later. Because your nervous system might crave stability, but your soul still needs aliveness. And that conflict, it starts way earlier than you think. The decision to marry without love doesn't start at the altar. It starts in childhood, in the moments when you learned what love costs. Maybe you watched your parents stay together for the kids while living like strangers. You learned that marriage isn't about connection, it's about obligation. Or maybe you had a parent who was emotionally unpredictable. Some days they were warm, other days cold. So you learned that love is conditional, unstable, something you can't rely on. Better to find someone steady, even if there's no spark. For some people, it started with romantic rejection. You loved someone deeply once, and they destroyed you. So your brain made a decision: never again. From now on, only choose people you can control your feelings around. People who can't hurt you because you never fully let them in. And then there's the cultural piece. If you grew up in a family or culture where marriage is about duty, status, or family approval, love was never even part of the equation. You were taught that feelings are irrelevant. What matters is stability, reputation, continuing the family line. In attachment psychology, this creates what's called an insecure attachment template. Your blueprint for relationships gets wired around fear, not safety, around strategy, not spontaneity. You don't grow up thinking, I want to marry someone I'm madly in love with. You grow up thinking, I want to marry someone who won't leave, someone who won't humiliate me, someone I can predict. And when that person shows up, you ignore the fact that your heart feels nothing, because your nervous system is screaming, "This is safe, take it." But safety without love has a price, and it shows up in 6 specific ways. If you married someone you don't truly love, you might not even realize it at first, because society's so good at convincing you that what you're feeling is normal. But your body knows, and it's been trying to tell you through these 6 signs. Sign number 1, you feel lighter when they're gone. Not because you hate them, not because they're toxic, just because when they leave for work, for a trip, for the weekend, something in your chest opens up. You can finally breathe. You can think clearly. You don't have to perform. And when they come back, that tightness returns. The weight of pretending settles back in. This is your nervous system telling you the relationship requires more energy than it gives. Real love energizes you. Pretend love exhausts you. Sign number 2, physical intimacy feels like a chore. You don't avoid it because you're tired or stressed. You avoid it because something in you recoils. Their touch doesn't feel wrong. It just feels like nothing, like going through motions, like checking a box. And the guilt crushes you because they're not doing anything bad. They're trying. They care. But your body won't lie the way your mind does. When there's no genuine desire, intimacy becomes performance. And performance, over time, becomes trauma. Sign number 3, you can't share your real thoughts. You talk about logistics, bills, schedules, surface-level plans. But your actual thoughts, your fears, your dreams, the weird things that make you you, those stay locked inside. Not because they judge you, but because sharing them would require a level of connection that just isn't there. You've learned to edit yourself, to keep conversations safe, to never go too deep. And over time, you become a stranger to yourself because the person closest to you has no idea who you really are. Sign number 4, you fantasize about another life. Not necessarily another person, though sometimes that too, but mostly, you fantasize about a version of yourself that feels alive again. The you who laughs without forcing it. The you who feels passion about something. The you who isn't just existing. You imagine what life would be like if you'd made a different choice, if you'd waited, if you'd been braver. And those thoughts don't just pass, they haunt you. Because deep down, you know you traded aliveness for safety, and you're not sure it was worth it. Sign number 5, the relationship runs on routine, not connection. Everything works, you have systems, you're a good team. But when's the last time you had a conversation that made you feel something? When's the last time you looked at them and felt that pull, that warmth, that sense of, I'm exactly where I want to be? You can't remember, because the relationship isn't built on emotional connection, it's built on function. And function can last for decades, but it's not the same as being truly known, truly chosen, truly loved. Sign number 6, you've stopped fighting. Most people think this is a good thing. We never argue, we're so peaceful. But you're not peaceful, you're indifferent. You don't fight because you've stopped caring enough to fight. Their opinions don't bother you, their choices don't affect you. You've emotionally detached so completely that conflict isn't even possible anymore. And that's the most dangerous sign of all. Because anger means you still care. Silence means you've already left, even if your body's still there. If even one of these signs hit you in the chest, you need to understand what's happening in your brain. Real talk, which sign hit the hardest? Drop a number in the comments, 1 through 6. And if this is your first time here, subscribe to UNFELT. We go this deep every single week. Now let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain. When you marry someone you don't love, your brain goes into survival mode. Not the dramatic kind, the quiet, slow burn kind that rewires you without you even noticing. The prefrontal cortex, your rationalization machine. This is the part of your brain that makes logical decisions, and it's really good at justifying choices after you've made them. They're stable. They're good to me. Love isn't everything. Your prefrontal cortex builds an entire narrative to protect you from the discomfort of admitting you made the wrong choice. The limbic system, your emotional truth teller. But beneath that logic, your limbic system, the emotional center of your brain, knows the truth. It registers the lack of oxytocin when they touch you, the absence of dopamine when you see them, the flat line where excitement should be. And that creates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. Your brain is holding two opposing truths. I chose this person, and I feel nothing for this person. That dissonance doesn't just create guilt, it creates chronic stress. Your body stays in low-level fight or flight because you're living a life that doesn't match your emotional reality. And over time, that stress doesn't just affect your mood, it affects everything. So what do? How do you live with this? First, let's be clear about something. You're not broken for feeling this way, and your partner isn't a villain. Sometimes two good people just aren't right for each other. Healing doesn't mean you have to blow up your life tomorrow, but it does mean you have to stop lying to yourself. You have two real options here, and both require brutal honesty. Option 1, stay and rebuild. If there's respect, safety, and willingness, love can sometimes be rekindled, but both people have to want it. Option 2, leave with integrity. Plan it, prepare for it. Don't just escape, exit consciously. Either way, you can't keep living in emotional purgatory. Here's how you start. Whether you stay or go, you need these 4 tools to survive this. Number 1, name the truth out loud. Not to them, yet, to yourself. Write it down. Say it in the mirror. Admit what you've been avoiding. I don't love them the way I should. Naming it doesn't mean you have to act on it immediately, but it stops the mental torture of pretending. Your nervous system needs to hear the truth before it can process what comes next. Number 2, stop performing. If intimacy feels like a chore, stop forcing it. If conversations feel hollow, stop filling them with fake enthusiasm. You're not being cruel, you're being honest. Sometimes the relationship needs to feel the weight of what's actually there before either person can decide what to do about it. Number 3, get professional help. Not to fix the marriage, to understand what you actually want. A good therapist won't tell you to stay or leave. They'll help you untangle your fear from your truth. Because right now, you might not even know what you're feeling. You just know something's wrong. Therapy creates the space to figure that out. Number 4, build your own identity again. Somewhere along the way, you disappeared into this relationship. Start reclaiming yourself. What do you actually like? What do you want? Who are you when no one's watching? Rediscover that person. Because whether you stay or leave, you need to know who you are outside of this marriage. And that version of you, they'll tell you what to do next. Here's what life could look like if you're brave enough to face this. Imagine waking up and not feeling that knot in your stomach. Imagine being in a relationship where you don't have to perform, where you can just be. Or imagine being alone and feeling more whole than you ever did married. Either path is valid, but both require you to stop running from the truth. Healing looks like admitting you married for the wrong reasons. And instead of punishing yourself for it, you make a new choice. Maybe that choice is recommitting, with real honesty this time. Maybe it's walking away and starting over. But it's not staying frozen in a life that slowly kills your spirit. You deserve aliveness, not just stability. And once you believe that, everything changes. Before we close, I want to know, if you could tell someone considering a loveless marriage one thing, what would it be? Drop it in the comments. We started by talking about that silent moment before you say, I do. That moment when your brain knows the truth, but fear makes you say it anyway. If you're living in that aftermath now, here's what you need to know. It's not too late to choose yourself. It's not selfish to want real love. And it's not weak to admit you made a mistake. Strength is facing the truth, even when the truth is terrifying. The therapist Esther Perel once said, "The quality of your life ultimately depends on the quality of your relationships, not the appearance of them, the quality." You can have a marriage that looks perfect and feels empty, or you can have a life that's messy, uncertain, but real. The question isn't what other people think you should do. It's what you can live with when no one's watching. You're not ungrateful. You're not broken. You're not selfish for wanting more. You're human. And now you stop pretending. Not to anyone else, to yourself. If this video spoke to something in you, you're exactly where you need to be. UNFELT explores psychology like this every week. The real stuff nobody talks about. Hit subscribe if you want more, and tell me in the comments, what topic should I cover next? I read every single one. Take care of yourself, and remember, you're not alone in this.